Hello gang, and welcome back. Many of you guys will probably be pretty happy to see something like this. The MS400 is getting upgrades. So I got the dogs from West Coast Saws. I don't like their felling dogs. They don't work for me, okay? They just don't. But the stock dogs are too small, dinky, and so anyways, plus these look cool. They look really cool. Anyways, the 4-point failing dogs, I don't like the 3-point. They just don't work. Anyways, but it got that, and it got an Egan Performance high flow air filter. Why I went for the Egan Performance? It looks good, and it's a uni filter, and that's it. I don't know anything else about it. I don't know. It looks good, and I liked it. As soon as I saw a uni filter, I was like, oh yeah, I want that. There you have it. So I already have this installed. But we're not running it today for anybody that might want to see it run, because I've already taken all the fuel and oil out of it, and this is getting sent to Ethan Trainer. I won a free port job at Sawfest and from Ethan, and so this is what he's getting sent. Now, yeah, we're still in choke. About the Egan filter here, I will say it is quite difficult to get it on, all right? So you got to be prepared and ready to do some stuffing. Not a big deal to me, because how often do you need to get in there and take it all apart and clean that filter? For somebody like me, not very often. But yeah, it is kind of a pain to get it all in there the way that it needs to be, tucked up underneath the cover. But it is totally doable. So there you go. So what to say about this? The 400 is a weird saw to me. I have yet to be able to truly fall in love with it, even though it's super nice. It is super nice. This is one of the nicest filling saws that I own. And if you watch the channel, you know that I own a lot of nice saws. I got some nice ones. This is definitely one of the nicer saws. What is it about this saw that doesn't tickle my fancy? Is it the power? No, it's got good power. All right, it does. It's got good power for a 60cc saw. This, however, is not a 60cc saw. This is a very expensive 67cc saw. And it's also just, everything about it is the most current technology. It's an M-tronic setup. It's a new design. It's got a fully magnesium piston. I just expect more out of it. And I kept waiting for it to break in and everything. Whenever Richard, God, I forgot his last name. Whenever Richard and his buddies were down here, I put the 9th tank of fuel in it. And I've never seen it truly break in. There was a moment there whenever I thought maybe it was breaking in, but as far as the difference between not broken in and broken in, it's just, I'm so minuscule, right? So with that free port job from Ethan, I had all kinds of thoughts were in my head. What should I have him port? Because whatever I have him port will be a saw that likely I keep forever. And so I had different thoughts. I talked with him back and forth and stuff, and it's like, I don't know. And then finally it just occurred to me, I should get him to port this. Why? Because, well, he does really great work, and I want to see what he can do with this. There's that. Also, I don't want to port it. I just don't. I just don't really. At first, I thought that I would want to port it, but now I don't. I just don't. I've got other projects that I'm working on, and it is a real crowd pleaser, and I should feature it on the channel more often than I do, but I don't because I don't really care for it all that much. So I thought, I bet you he'll make me really love the saw. And if I put some cool felling dogs on there and a good filter system, it should be good. And the reason I wanted that filter system on there before I sent it to him was in case he wanted to do something different to it, like cut on it or something like that. I don't know. He probably won't. But I just wanted to make sure it was on there when he got it, so that we would get the best performance out of it for his channel and for mine as well. So yeah, I will box this up and probably ship it out tomorrow to Ethan, and we'll see what becomes of it. I've spoken about Charlie Briscoe's 400 in the past, and he got massive power out of it. I mean, I think it's almost 9 horsepower. Maybe I think it was 8.4 horsepower. And in a chassis this small, that is extremely impressive. But at the same time, then it never felt like a saw that I would want to actually go out and work. It was too much, because this saw is lightweight. It feels right with a 20 to 24 inch bar on it, and with that much horsepower, with that small of a bar, it just makes cutting odd, because you're cutting so fast. You got to be really wary of your tip that's on the other side, getting through and hitting the ground. Also, it didn't do very well at like part throttle. You know, it wanted to be full throttle, and then you had to push on it to keep it off of the rev limiter. And I was like, you know what? I think just a hot work saw build would be more enjoyable than a full tilt, get all the power you can out of it. So that's what I told Ethan. We're going to go for a hot work saw here. It's not going to build the same kind of power that Charlie's does, but I'm okay with that. Not everything needs to be as screaming as it can possibly be. Plus, the reality is that, like, there's no race class for it. So to get it really, really hot and really, really, really fast, unless they come out with a 67cc race class, what's the point, you know? So, yeah, I like the direction that we're headed. I look forward to getting this back from Ethan, you know, and see what he can do with it. And I'm sure it's going to be quite awesome whenever I get it back. I mean, if this thing could put out, I don't know, 7 to 7.5 horsepower, that would probably be a dream, you know, to run. That would probably be just an absolute dream. But no constraints on Ethan. He gets to do what he wants to do, and no expectations either. I just am certain that I'll like it whenever I get it back, and it's going to be fun. And I thought I'd show you guys the upgrades. I know you're going to go, oh, I wish you would have put it in the wood. I know. It's already drained of fuel and everything, and all that stuff takes time. I mean, it's time consuming to go out there and do all these cuts and stuff, and get everything set up, get the camera set up. Right now, I need a new log, so I need to go get a new log to put it on my stands, and to keep doing some more cutting with it and stuff like that. And so, no cuts on this video today. Just, hey, look at these dogs. And hey, check out that air filter. I like those dogs. They're big, but they're not overly big. They're not crazy. And they look super cool on the saw. So, Ethan, it's coming to you, buddy.